All right, welcome to the stream. So today, what I want to do is focus on getting some seed database stuff done. Um, so currently, the database that I'm working with is half fake, half real for testing purposes, and it's kind of a little bit mixed up. So we want to improve on that. I really like the way that there's a Thoughtbot article where they've set up kind of two separate things, concepts. There's the seeds, and then there's the seeding for development. And we're going to do the same thing. So seeds is kind of the built-in. If you go to in your app, dbseeds.rb, there's a file there which lets you basically set up stuff. This is stuff that's actually like real information, real seed data that is used by your system. So the example they give in Thoughtbot gives is the states of the United States. If you're using that for stuff, that's real. You're not going to want to have fake information there. This could be stuff like I don't know, different account tiers or something, but it's actually real information that the production would use. What we're looking to do is something separate, which is developer seeds. So this is a little bit different because we're actually wanting to do a whole bunch of fake information to make it really easy for us to hit one command and have a database of actually like representative information. So it's going to be a little bit different purpose. With this, it's also something that's going to be kind of a living document. So as we add new features, we really want to be putting this in the seeds as well. That way you can show it. So it's something that's going to be that could be run multiple times. So we want to be able to support that. So let me throw up my screen. So and here's our seeds.rb. So here's where we would go in and actually do, if you had states or something, we'd have, state dot create, if I can type, and here you'd have, whatever. But that's, like I said, we're not going to focus on that for today. So what we're actually going to do is going to make a new rake task that we can run time and time again and just continuously build out this seed information. So in here we're going to do Rails G task. We're going to call this dev, and it's going to be priming the database. Nothing special with that. That's just kind of what they've called it. With Thoughtbot being who they is. They've got this article here, and one of the things I really like about this is that this can only run in development. So we're going to copy that over as well for us. I don't want to accidentally run this in production. That would be no good. All right. And here's where we actually put in our real thing. So with them, they're using FactoryBot for this, which I want a little more control. So I'm going to do it separately. And we also have Faker set up. I think I have Faker set up. I do not have Faker set up. So we'll end up using Faker for this as well, to make it just kind of be able to do random generated stuff. Okay, so let's just go in here. We can go put hello world. Make sure it's tied in. So I can do Rails dev prime. That's hello world. Great. So let's we're just going to make a big procedural thing for here. We can probably clean this up afterwards, but we want to do something like user dot. So with this, because we want to run it again and again and again, we don't want to just do user dot create. We want to do something like create or initialize by, and here we're going to say what are we actually going to be looking for. So here I'm going to do email, and that's we're going to say user1@example.com. And so what this is going to be doing is this is going to do a, sorry, that should be find or create by. So what this is going to do is it's going to do user.where email user1.example. If it doesn't find it, it's going to create it and it's going to pass that to this block. So, so we can actually just do, the only thing I really want to do in here is, well, actually, let's break this out and show what's going on. So I can go do user, and we're going to say so So this is going to fail, but I'm going to go in here. So I'm going here something like creating user. I'm going to say the only thing we need to do in here is do user.password equals password, and we can end this. So what this is going to do is it's going to try and find user 1. If it finds it, it's just going to spit it out. If it doesn't find it, it's going to new it. It's going to pass it into here. It's already going to have email set, so then I just have to set the password, and we're good. So if we do this and we run this, we're going to get creating user. Good. If we run it again, we're not going to create user because it didn't have to create it that second time. So that's what's going on there. So we can go in here, we can have user 2. So this gives us 2 user accounts. All right. So in here, after that, let's make an account. So we're going to have a account 1, and we're going to do account.find or create by, and let's just pull this up. Our accounts, this is being name. Okay. So here we're going to make a name. We're going to say solo account. So if we create this solo account, we're going to put user 1 onto it. So we can do I'm actually working on 2 things right now, so I'm going to get my names messed up. Membership. So we can do membership.create, and this is going to be with account and user 1. And let's rename this to solo account, and we'll do this as team account. And here we're going to make it with team 1 member with user 1 and user 2. So if we run this, all right. So if we look at our accounts now, we've got solo account, team account. We have our other garbage in here, so we're going to clean that up at some point. In fact, if we do Rails db reset, this is taking longer than expected. Okay, it doesn't like being connected to the account at the same time. Let's try that again. All right, and actually let's do db reset and Rails dev prime. We do that, and then let's take a look at CRMmy, and if we got the 2 solo accounts, we got the 2 users accounts, so that's looking good. All right, and just to make sure, I go into here and I do user 1 at example.com password, and if we look at our accounts, we have a solo account and our team account, so that's all working. All right, let's keep going. So all right, so with that, we can just continue building out our seats. So let's go. So we got companies. So in here we want to be able to create a company, but we don't want to just create one random company. We're going to want to be able to do different stuff with that. So let's actually do bundle add faker. What faker does, which is beautiful, is lets us create fake information. So if we Rails C, basically it's just a huge library of strings. So if I do faker company dot industry, computer games, security investigations, banking. So there's a whole bunch of just stuff like that. What's BS? That's BS. So with this, we can do something like name. So that's kind of what Faker gives us. All right, so let's build things out. So for this, so for the solo account, we want to build out the companies. So we could do something, I don't know, 20 dot times do, and here we can do company equals company dot. So here we can't do the find or create because we'll be doing random names on things. So here, that's actually, yeah. So we can do company dot new, and we'll do name is going to be Faker company dot name. What else do we need for a company? All right, so for companies, it's just name and the account that it's associated with. So we're going to do account is solo account. So actually, just for the sake of purposes, we'll do 5 times. So let's run this. And all right, so companies, that didn't work. Company.create. All right, so we ran it. If we run it again, we're now at 10. That's not what we want because every time we run this, it's going to be doing stuff. So for this, what we actually want to do is something like, oh, I always fit this index for loops, which just sounds ridiculous. Ruby loop. Did loop do end? I think it's begin. Begin. All right, you can do while solo account companies count is less than, we'll say 15, we will create. So I run this, I should now have 15. And if I run it again, I should stay at 15. Perfect. Okay, so now we're creating the 15 accounts, and they are associated with it. And if I look at companies, that's for the solo account, accounts, solo account, companies, 15, beautiful. Okay. All right, I'm gonna actually remove them. So for the company, so for each company, no, I shouldn't have done that. So for each company, they could have a domain. So we want to then do company.domains. We'll add on to here domain dot create, and the domain needs just the domain and then the contactable that we're connected to. Okay. So domain is going to be Faker internet domain, if I'm not mistaken. Domain name. Yep. That will give us what we want. All right. All right, so we've got our companies, we've got our domains, and if we look in here, we've got whatever and a domain. Great. Okay. And I wonder, Rails C, can I do faker internet dot email? Will this let me do a domain with it? No, I don't think so. All right, that's fine. Probably something to look into. Actually, does it give me internet dot username? Yeah, so I could do a username plus domain to figure that out. Okay, that's something to think about. All right. So we've got companies for the account, and we're going to do the same thing for the team account. And we can bump the system like 25. Cool. Okay, so we've got team accounts, companies, and in here we're going to do kind of the same type of concept where we're going to want to create people. Person.create. And here we're going to be doing a lot more configuration. So yeah, person.create. And for person, we've got full name, given name. All right. So full name. So here we want to do probably a little bit of work to make this look reasonable. So here we're going to do faker and faker name dot we're going to do faker.name dot name and given name. Now this is going to show my biases, of course. It's going to be full name dot split on the space dot first, which yeah, I know that's not the way it should be, but that's fine. Given this is representative data, so that's fine. Okay, so we have a given name and person dot. If we look at, so we've got the account. So we're gonna have to look at appointments, email addresses, and phone numbers. All right. So with this, well, if we take a look, the way that they did it here, for doing random stuff, we do something like this, which is nice. So we can do in here and say, I don't know, 1 to 3, dot time, dot sample, dot times do. So in here we're going to give them 1 to 3. Just do 0 to 3. In here we can do person dot emails, and we'll do email dot new, and for this, the email addresses, we are using email. Okay, email, and that's going to be internet email. Faker internet dot email. All right, so that's going to create those email addresses, up to 3 of them, and let's do up to 2, and we'll do phone numbers. And that is phone number. Not new. And what is your phone numbers? It's just phone underscore number. All right. And you are going to be what? Faker phone number dot phone number. Ooh. All right, well, we'll see if that handles it properly. If we handle this properly. Wrong one. All right. What else do we need for a person? All right, so we got account. We need to look at employments. All right. For right now, let's just work on the solo count. So, okay, so we have our solo count. We create our companies, create our solo count dot people. Dot count is less than 25. All right. So I'm kind of a little bit hesitant doing this because it means I can't rerun this multiple times. Yeah, I'll think about this. What I might do is pull this out to be separately done. So we'll kind of, this what I'd probably do is use something like modulus operator. Say, if your user number 123 would get 123 email addresses, etc. So it'll give us a way to kind of circulate that through. Let's see how this looks so far. I think I just do a rand on that. Emails from person. Email addresses. Kind is null. Cell, work, or home. Yeah, there's a few ways you could approach this. What I'm just going to do is do kind is going to be phone number dot kinds dot sample. I think that should work. So phone number dot kinds should give us the list. Yep. sample kinds.keys.sample. So I'll give it a cell. All right. I don't really care what it is. I just want to do a random one. Okay. So let's see if that now works. I'm going to attribute email for email. Where's that? Rake 30. And then I guess it's going to be email address. I'm going to attribute error, attribute email for email. No, because it's email address. You're taking a very long time. That should be working. Let's see what the database looks like. 25 units for people. Oh, it doesn't seem. Why were we taking so long though? Because we are creating thousands of companies. What are we doing wrong here? Slow count, people count. Slow companies. People is less than. Let's not even bother with that right now. All right. So I am going to pull this down, and what we're going to do is slow count.people dot all do person, and in here we'll do the same thing. While person dot email addresses dot count is less than so we don't want it to be random because it's gonna be weird. By weird I mean it's gonna if we run it, it's gonna randomly create 1, and if we run it again, it's gonna randomly create 3. So we do want something that's kind of going to be unique. So we could do like something like person.id mod 3. So the first person is going to get 123, 123, 123 email addresses. And we'll do the same thing down here, but let's say mod 2. And we still need to do employments. So that's what we'll do for that. All right. And here we probably want to do emails and other activities. But this would be enough to start with. And for actually just for the sake of purpose, I'm not going to bother with the team for the sake of running kind of through what we're looking to do here. Okay, so let's get our database. Let's disconnect from it, and let's do a Rails DB reset and dev prime. let's connect in again and see what our database looks like now. So if we go into our accounts, we have our solo accounts. If we go to our users, we have our users. If we go to our companies, we have our 25 companies. If we go to our people, we have our 25 people. If we go into our domains, there's all the domains. If we go to our email addresses, we've got nothing. Perfect. Well, email address count is less than. Why is that? Rail C. Am I not doing what I expect there? Person dot find 5 dot ID mod 3 is going to give us 2. And if we look at email, okay, why are you not saving? Are our phone numbers saving? Phone numbers are also not saving. Actually, if we do, I think we can do create off of that. Email address. Yeah, show create. Okay, let's try that again. And you gotta yell at me. Still no. Actually, let's throw create bang on there. That might work. Just show me what I'm doing wrong. Besides being terrible at typing. That's interesting. Well, solo count less than 25, build stuff. Well, solo count people. Dot each. Yeah, that will help. Ruby's usually magical. You should have done that for me. Validation is invalid. That's what I was wondering. Rails, C, Baker, phone number dot let's try that one. She does it too. Yeah, no. All right. Phone number is invalid. I didn't save it. Let's save file and try again. All right, now you're just irritating me. Let me see what the let's see what someone looks like. No, I don't have any phone numbers in the system. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna look into that. I'm just gonna have to get a different one that's gonna be formatted properly. That's gonna, I need the whole block. Okay, but if we look at what we got going here, so if we go to the company, like people, we've got email address set up, so that's great. Okay, so that's working. And here we could do something like while solo account projects count is less than 3, project equals project dot create, and we'll do account on solo account, and name is going to be faker. I think they have project dot name. We'll see. What do they have? Faker. Let's hop over to the documentation. That's faker.js. I think this is in lib. Actually, that's my ancient app. There's stuff we get for app. I could probably use app.name. Just look through the list of stuff. Yeah, let's do that. An app name kind of sound. App name. All right. All right, so we've got our different projects now. Yeah, so this is kind of, so you can see where this is heading. There's a bunch of things we can extract from this. So we're doing all the setup right now for just a single account. But what we could do is easily pull this all out into a function, and then we can pass in solo account, team account to do both. We've got so then we would also want to do some activities, so it's where we can generate emails. So we're going to do something like that. We can do solo account dot emails count is less than, I don't know, 50. And here we could do email equals email dot new create, and we'd set up all the information here, and just continue going through. So we kind of build that. So what this gives us is that we can easily do a reset our database, do our dev prime, and we have a functioning database. We have those known username for user 1, user 2. We've got a team account, solo account, and basically we have a functional system that we kind of keep on adding to, and it gives us a kind of a baseline where we can just quickly be like, boom, here's your setup. We also, if there's any testing purposes that we need to do some weird stuff, we can make a separate account that is really dedicated towards some special configuration, where we could say, hey, there's a weird setup. That way we can easily, if you're doing any QA stuff, you can really easily jump into that type of environment where you've got that set up, and you can check out how that works and make sure it's working properly. So some QA stuff you could do with this as well, but the primary reason we'd want to do something like this is that we can really quickly just be able to spin up a development environment that has a reasonable starting place. So then that's where we're going to stop for now, but take care. See you next time.